Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 2774 of What You Up To Now. This is a segment where I like to document my journey, my life journey, and I'm kind of old now, so learned a lot along the way, made tons of mistakes, like we all do because we're all human, but hopefully learned lessons so that I don't make the same mistakes over and over and over again. A couple mistakes I made over and over again until I finally learned the lesson that it was trying to teach me, but for the most part, we want to go through our life and be the best possible version of ourselves and be as unscathed and make a positive influence if at all possible. At least that's my intent. So, and it doesn't always come off that way, right? Sometimes it comes off as bossy. Sometimes it comes off as judgmental. Sometimes it comes off as helpful, which is what I'm always looking for. Sometimes it comes off as, not the right time, etc. But that's part of the process of learning to be good human beings. Well, today we're talking about, and all this month, we're focusing on the spiritual area and aspect of our life, and with respect to supersizing our businesses, with respect to our businesses, because whether we admit it or not, each of our businesses, just like each of us, either have a spiritual component or we don't choose to exercise it. We are spiritual beings, whether we know it or not, whether we believe it or not. And it's interesting to explore, like we decided yesterday, what is our definition of spiritual health and well-being? What does that look like for us? What does that even mean? Because guess what? It means something different, slightly different for sure, to each and every one of us on the planet. Our relationship with the higher power, whether we have one or not. Our belief about other people often feeds from our beliefs about ourselves, which are intimately connected, in my humble opinion, with whether we believe we are a spiritual being or not, whether we believe in a higher power or not, or that we're all connected. A spiritual belief is one of mine is that we're all connected. So what you do to another human being or another living entity or anything else on the planet is what you do to yourself, because we're all energy and we're all connected. And again, depends on what our beliefs are. But today I challenge in both the Be a Better You Annual Challenge group and Supersize Your Business is to notice and be aware as you go about your day, and jot it down so you don't forget the spiritual related thoughts and beliefs that pop up, even if they just pop into your head. Even if you hear I'm not good enough, my business doesn't deserve to get this customer, etc. Write that down, because that is somehow, you might think it's just an emotional or a mental thought or belief, but emotional, mental, and spiritual to me are so intertwined and interconnected that they overlap. We have many beliefs about our spiritual health and well-being that are connected to our emotional health and well-being, that are connected to our mental health and well-being, because thoughts and beliefs and our spirit are all intertwined at such an intimate level. So today I challenge you, whether you're in either of my groups or not, to think about and notice what spiritual thoughts and beliefs come up for you. If you want to make the world a better place, to me, that is a spiritual thought. And if it's a belief of yours, a core value of yours, then it is a spiritual belief. So we're just going to note those, write them down. I'm going to write mine down and then kind of the time I think it. And guess what? Will I catch them all? Absolutely not. If we have 80,000 thoughts a day, what percentage of those might be spiritual today? More than not, because we're paying attention to it. And what's the probability we can write them all down? No, we're not going to get them all. But if we get 1%, that makes us more aware of what's actually going on in our head and in our mind and in our hearts and in our life and in our spirits, that we can take a look at, and we can look for patterns, and we can look for areas that are conflicting, because guess what? We all have conflicting beliefs. And when those beliefs conflict, what will show up is what is most relevant at the time for us, and what our subconscious serves up for us for evidence of which side of the belief is true or not. And that's how it'll manifest and show up in our life. So it's fascinating. We human beings are very, very fascinating, at least in my book. So today, think about your spiritual related thoughts and beliefs. Think about your spiritual health and well-being. And we're going to focus on it all this month, how we can, of course, improve our spiritual thoughts and well-being and health and core values and all the other spiritual health and well-being topics that we'll cover this month. Other stuff, it's brand new month after a holiday weekend. Gotta get the ground running, so I've got lots of things to do, lots of projects going on. I've got things from the previous months that I have to maybe do a little catching up on, because sometimes, just like everybody else, I get busy and I forget to schedule it all in, and I something or another slips through the cracks. So today I'm getting things ready, a couple things, and all this week, well, till Wednesday, for, well, just today, tomorrow's Wednesday. It's a holiday week. So for the Epilepsy Foundation, I have them come by every month. So I improve my physical environment, which we'll talk about next month, to declutter and share things that other people can get more use out of than I can. Because why? It makes the world a better place. That's a spiritual thought or belief. All right. Have a great day. If I can help you anyway, if you're having a hard time identifying what is or isn't a spiritual thought or belief, write it down and ask. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll, of course, see you tomorrow.